What's up everybody, George from Venture GT. Today we're in the garage. I have the Renagade pulled forward, and what we're gonna do today is something that I actually saw on our Facebook Jeep Renegade page. People always post up their stuff, their mods, their tweaks, whatever they've done to it. And I've always been curious about tinting out the taillights. So there's a couple ways people have done it. They've done it with vinyl wrap, or they've done it with that spray. I can't remember the name, but I will put it right here. With that said, I was really curious and really interested in seeing if I could do the same thing. A lot of people go with the alternate route, but I kind of want to go with a vinyl tint. I want to go with the overlay tint and see how it works. And that's what we're going to do today. Hopefully we succeed, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's going to be the play for today. I'm going to be doing that. Tempting to do that. We'll see how it works. And everybody knows what the first step is before we put down any vinyl or any tint, and that is cleaning those dirty guys. Let's start with that. All right guys, before we actually get into doing all this, I'm gonna go over a couple things you're gonna need, slash what I bought to do this job. So you're gonna need some sort of tint wrap. Now I will link this in the description below, but I bought this on Amazon. It's 2 rolls. Honestly, with 1 is good enough, but this came with 2. So in case you mess up, you have 2. Second thing you're gonna need is, obviously you're gonna wanna clean the area. So a bottle of soapy water, a couple rags, a knife of some sort, also your squeegees. So if you haven't seen my little kit that I have, it's in the gas cap cover video. If you wanna know where this is at, it's in the description below on that video. We're gonna first start off with same old usual, you know the routine, you know the drill. Clean the area before we work. We don't want any dust, any dirt, anything on there. We want to make sure it's clean and dry. So we're going to go ahead and start with that. Now in the past, on some of my tint wrap videos that I've done, I do talk about dry and wet install. I prefer to do a dry install, but in this case, because there's so many crevices and current turns and all that fun stuff, I'm gonna do a wet install. Should make it a little bit easier. Also, what's very important is we're gonna bring out a guest star again. It's gonna be the heat gun. We're gonna rely on this guy a lot today. It's gonna help us out. We're gonna do the wet install. It should give us a little more leverage, a little easier this way, especially with all those turns and curves and edges that we have going. I'm really hoping this works out because this is gonna look nice. Some of the pictures that I've seen, people just tint out the red and they actually cut out the Renegade reverse light section. I'd rather have it all blacked out. So I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to tint out the whole thing. So we'll see how that goes for us. Okay, first thing we're gonna do right now is we're gonna measure out about roughly what size we want. You always wanna be just a little bit bigger. When you go to push into the creases, you're gonna need extra. So always have a little bit extra. So I'm gonna roughly do about there. I'm gonna cut it up, and then we'll start peeling and putting on. So we're gonna just hammer this guy down. Make sure we got plenty. We'll see how it goes. Let's start it up. I'm definitely gonna have it where there's enough extra on the edges where I can just come in with the X-Acto knife and just trim it up nicely. This is gonna be a fun one, guys. That's why we're doing it. And like I said before, the heat gun is gonna be our big friend today. He's gonna come in clutch when we need him the most. I'm gonna keep working on it, and I'll show you progress as we go. All right guys, so unfortunately I did not do the whole thing. As you can see, I kind of just did the X shape, which is kind of funny because I just talked about people doing the outside, not that. But tell you what, all these bends and creases, is a nightmare. Holy crap. I was struggling, I was sweating, yeah, it was just it was a headache. So I decided just to go with the center. Since it was a little easier, it looks decent. It's a little lighter than I thought it'd be. I think the wrap I got is a little lighter, on the lighter side, but it's okay. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side, see how that turns out, and we'll see what it looks like all together. All right guys, I just finished this side as well. Once again, super hard to try to tint this whole thing out. It's just all these bends and creases. You can see them in the reflection itself. It's a sweet tail light with all the design they put into it, but it's a headache when you're trying to wrap it. So what I'm gonna end up doing, I'm gonna keep this here for now, keep the centerpiece tinted out, but in a future video I will tint these out. But I'm actually gonna branch out and I'm gonna use that tint spray. Tint spray is probably your best solution or your best bet when it comes to tinting out these taillights. Like I said, I'll probably do that in a future video, probably removing the tail light. I'll probably end up removing that as well. I'll just tint the whole thing. You gotta spray it down, give it some time. It'd probably be faster even than trying to wrap it. But yeah, I'm just trying to wrap it now. It's just a big headache. I thought I could do it, but man, I don't think I have the patience to do something like that. But I tried. It was a half succeed, half fail, because this looks cool. I just wish it was a little darker. Compared to like my side markers, I mean, that's a huge difference, night and day, literally night and day. All right, let's pull the Renagade out, put it in the sun, see how it looks. Maybe it looks a little dark in the sun. Let's find out. It's not terrible. It's not exactly what I wanted, but it's a little something, a little something different, a little subtle, but I will end up tinting the whole thing. I think it looks sick to have full black tinted taillights. And I probably should have mentioned, if you are gonna do that, it might be a problem for you depending on your state where you live. You could get pulled over for it, but I mean, it's not gonna be so dark where you can't see any lights coming through it. You just gotta be cautious with that kind of stuff, you know? All right guys, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you liked it. Maybe you want to do the same thing or one up me and actually do the whole dang thing, because I couldn't do it. But it's fine, because I kind of wanted to try the tint spray, to be honest. But with that said, I'm going to end it here. Thank you for watching. This is George from Retro GT, signing off.